Hello and welcome to yet another episode at You Are Human, a show attempting to decode human potential and possibilities by bringing you real stories, real heroes. It is often said that life is nothing but a game of chess. You can never, ever undo your previous move. However, you can always watch your next step. The reason I begin this episode with a quote and a correlation about chess, you may ask, it is because today's episode is all about chess and life. Because my today's guest has been inclined towards chess since the age of 6. In his high school, in his chess club, he was the sole member. Although he did have a little bit of an experiment with music, he was a professional chef for the past 12 years, but in the last 6 years, he has dedicated his time and energy towards learning and teaching chess. I met with him at Washington Square Park in New York, and I am so delighted to have him on the show. Please welcome Paul DeFusco. Hey, Paul, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Jagruti. It's good to be here.
It's so good to have you. I mean, I remember our time at Washington Square Park and me being so thrilled about you and the entire concept of just playing chess with random people in a park. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, it was a blessing to have you come to my table. You had the great energy, and that's the kind of thing that it's easy to vibe off of, easy to have a good time and share the game when somebody has a great attitude like that. So
that's amazing. So I want to begin my first question. At the age of 6, you were inclined towards chess. What is it that fascinated you about the chessboard? Do you have any vague memory of it?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, my uncle, right? He was I can remember him teaching me how to play. I think it was like a Christmas or something, and we had chess pieces, and he was teaching me how to play. And when my uncles did anything with me, they always they went full force. They had no they did not take it easy on me, right? So they always, whether it was ping pong, they would slam the ball in my face, or whether whatever game we were playing, they would go full out. So he really he beat me pretty good. I remember that. Just like a kid just learning how to play and just losing the game over and over instantly. So, I mean, that's, as far as being a kid, I mean, that's really the only memories I have at a young age with chess. And that, and plus, I saw the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but as a kid, I liked that movie a lot. And that also introduced, the game a little bit to me in a different way.
Right. And even now, because if I think the Queen of Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, yeah.
Queen's Gambit, not the Queen of Gambit. Queen's Gambit, yes. I think that show has brought back chess, into the limelight again.
It has. And, chess, it happens with chess every now and then. Every few years it becomes popular again.
Yes. But if you look at chess as a game, it is a centuries old game. It has been there for years and years and centuries. In a way, I think in a way it has been a part of the human evolution. You could even say that, because even it has evolved, through the centuries. Now, do you think the reason why it has sustained for such a long time is because of its relevance to our lives? Do you think that's one of the reasons why it has stuck around for so long?
Yeah, I do. It's like the principles of chess, right? They're timeless in the sense of the human condition, right? Time is an element, space is an element. Okay, these things that we deal with, no matter what age it is, things that humans have to deal with. Our thought process. How do we strategize? In a world where really essentially every move you make, there's a downside to every move you make. And so how do we think about our actions when there's a positive and negative force with everything we do? So yeah.
I believe there's so much philosophy and life lessons just in general, if you want to learn from something, You could. You don't need to like go to a guru, or you need to, like leave everything, get on a mountain to seek knowledge and seek, the wisdom of life. If you look at, it's such a great example of just the chessboard. If you look at it the right way, it can teach you everything that you need in life to be a good person, or, to lead your life in the best possible way. Don't you think?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, I've applied the principles of chess to my everyday thinking, and you know, it's not the sole source of knowledge, but it's definitely a useful tool
Mm,
as far as how to live your life,
mm,
in the most thoughtful way,
mm, mm.
strategically speaking. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has a strategy with their life, what they want to do with it, how they want to spend their time,
Right.
and it's tricky in order to get the most out of it, really. So
Right.
discipline and a clear plan, and
Yeah.
that's what everyone is faced with. And if you are lacking in these areas, you can learn all these things on a chessboard.
No,
take
absolutely.
take some time off, because that is really, the true cost of playing chess is you got to take some time to play it, right? So
Right.
it's almost like if you were to spend 4 years at a university, right? You're
Mm,
taking
mm.
time off from life to study it, and then once you approach it, finally you'll have a whole arsenal of ideas, right? So that's kind of the
Right.
same with chess.
Right. Absolutely. So, if I may ask, is it why you reconnected with chess like 6 years ago, to have that strategy for life, or to reconnect with life as a whole? Because in between you did, lose your touch with chess, and you were pursuing playing the guitar, and you were a part of a band, and you worked as a chef, and then you again got back to chess. So do you think that it was that moment in your life that probably you needed a direction, that's how chess happened again?
Well, I think my biggest mistake was that I did not play chess very much when I was a kid, right? I was playing sports and playing music and doing all these other things.
Hmm.
And I was interested in the game, like I was in the chess club and stuff, but it was never serious. It was more of like an after school activity,
Right.
to
Right.
stay busy.
Yeah.
Uh, but had I been focusing on these sort of lessons when I was younger, I think I could have made better decisions and more,
Yeah.
throughout my life. I don't know, but knowing these things now is definitely is welcome in my life. So
Yeah, I think
I can
whenever,
only
yeah.
speculate.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was just saying I can only speculate at the what could have been if I had known these things earlier. But I guess it's everybody learns it when they're ready. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. And we all speculate, I think all of us do think about like, oh, I wish this had happened before. But as you said, they say that when the student is ready, the master appears. So be it whatever, even a game of chess could be your master. So I think whenever you're ready, things
yeah,
just happen.
definitely, yeah, yeah.
So, why did you think of going to Washington Square Park? Like, what was the calling that, okay, I need to get down over there every day, because you live far from Washington Square Park? We have taken the train ride together. And I know that it's not an easy distance, it is quite a distance from the park to where you live. Why were you hustling every single day, going over there, playing chess with strangers? Like, what made you decide that, okay, I want to do this? And you sustained it for quite a few years, like you were at it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I moved to New York about 10 years ago, and at this point I wasn't playing music anymore, and I was still cooking, for money and stuff like that. But I have like an artistic personality, I would say. I was a musician, from
Mm,
for like 10 years old, all the way up until college, right?
mm, mm,
And and so I kind of found myself as being like, an artist that had no art, right? Had no medium for expressing himself. So I found like I started getting interested in chess again, and I had known about Washington Square Park for a long time,
mm,
because of like that movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, right? That was filmed in Washington Square Park, and
mm.
it's a
Yeah.
famous park anyways, for chess. So I've known about the park, And then one day I gathered up the courage and I said, you know what, I'm going down there and I'm going to play a game.
Mm.
And I was very nervous, extremely nervous when I went down there the first time. And I do remember I played a guy. I had never seen him again, this guy I played, but I did play him. And I actually beat him. I won the game. Uh, and and that was great. And I got up and I left and I was so excited. And then gradually over time, I started going back more and more. And then one day I just decided I was going to go set up my pieces, right, and just see what happened.
Mm.
And I did all day long. I set up my pieces. I wait for people. I wasn't very good, but you know, I did it anyways. You know, because
Yeah.
I wanted to. That's it.
Mm.
I just
Mm.
wanted to do it.
Mm.
And then I met some people, and I started playing for free, which is, you know, not something that happens a lot there. So
Yeah.
I played a lot of games, met a lot of people, formed a lot of relationships, and taught myself the game, learned from other people about the game. And then, you know, right before the pandemic, I decided, you know what, I'm only doing what makes me happy. And then the pandemic happened, and then all this stuff happened, but I'm like, you know what, I'm doing it anyways. And and so I just stuck with it. It was tough. It wasn't easy. I mean,
Yeah, of
basically,
course.
the economy of the park went down at least 75% of what it was in the past, you know, and so definitely wasn't easy, but we stuck through it, and things are looking better. I've actually, you know, during that time, you know, it was so slow that the people that were there stood out more, you know.
Mm.
So during that time, I think I established myself through meeting a lot of people, networking and stuff, as one of the regulars and one of the go-to kind of people there.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it kind of worked out in that respects. As you know, as long as you're ready to do some sacrificing, you know, good things will come in the end, I think.
Mm.
As
It
long
is.
as you know it's
Yeah.
a good idea. Let's
Yeah.
say it's a good idea first of all. Then maybe you make some sacrifices, and then you get to
Right.
where you want.
Right. Because nothing comes easy, right? You need to give pieces of you to a cause, to a purpose, to a passion. Only then it is going to talk to you, right? Like just the other day, I was speaking to a friend who is a climber, and he met with somebody who is a pro climber. Now, in the past 10 years, that man who is in his 50s has had several injuries. Even for his, shoulders and his back, he's gone to Europe to get his surgeries done and get himself fixed. But he's just at it, because he loves climbing so
Mhm.
much. And I was like, why would somebody, go through so much physical exertion, go get himself treated? But that's the passion and the craziness about something that you love. And when we were discussing this, I was like, but doesn't it happen even to runners? It is proven that the more you run, like for runners, you are going to inevitably have knee issues, but you still get into it.
Mhm.
The bad side of it also, but that passion and the that feeling that, oh, I'm doing this because I love it. It is
Right.
irreplaceable. It cannot be replaced by, people are like, okay, it's just pain, I'm going to deal with it.
Yeah, so sometimes for an outsider, it might seem like, well, I don't understand why they do it. But for the person doing it, is just like, I can't see myself doing anything else,
Anything
you
else?
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what is your best part of, meeting strangers at Washington Square Park? I'm sure that would be best and worst because you might have had negative experiences too, but I just want to highlight on the
of
best
course.
part. Like what's like the best
Yeah.
part of being there?
Well, I mean, the best part is meeting people from all over the world. I mean, I met you from Oman on the other side of the world. Like the sun's not even in the right position. Like it's like it's right about to rise pretty soon where you are, right?
Yes, yes.
It's just went away. So I mean, that's craziness. So I mean, yeah, I mean, and you're not the only one. I met people all over the world. You know, chess enthusiasts, some really good players. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
I've
mm,
met and had the opportunity to play with, and
mm,
it's really, you know, chess can be seen as a solitary game. You know, like people you know, kind of going crazy alone in their room over a chessboard. But in reality, it's a social game. You need another person to play, and
Right.
really, that's the big benefit that you get
Mm,
from playing, from sitting in a stationary position, right? Where
mm,
people from all over New York City are walking around, and you know, like, because you're stationary and everybody's revolving around you, you get a lot of people, right? You get
right.
a lot of
Right.
numbers of people,
Right.
and every day brings something new, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. So you did talk about, applying the strategic part of chess in your life. What are the other lessons that have, proved to be successful when applied in your own life practically? Because you're so closely attached to the game, so I'm sure there's a lot that it teaches you. So what else do you apply in your day-to-day life?
Well, you know, it's the principle of beginning with the end in mind. Okay, that's, you know, every game of chess is going towards the end game. So you have to always have the end game in mind, whatever you're doing.
Mm,
So when you begin whatever it is you're doing with visualizing how it's going to end up, all right,
mm,
but
mm,
it gives you a clear path from which to go to, right? So sometimes people will start, you know, doing whatever project or whatever it is they're doing in their life. They'll start without having a clear focus of what they're doing. They're just doing it, right? And
mm,
that's a recipe for, you know, chaos, right? So
mm.
if you plan how you want to be, then it's easier to put the pieces in order to get to that point, you know. So I mean, I that's probably the biggest thing, because I've learned, you know, it's, you can play the opening not so well, right? But all this stuff can be made up in the middle game and then going into the end game, right? So there is a scientific best way to play the opening, right? And
Yeah.
all the top pros know all those ways. But for, you know, the lower end, you know, amateur, you know, less than super elite player, uh, getting through the opening is just necessary, and then the rest of the game you can really show what you're made of, you know.
But do you think when you focus a lot on the end game, you tend to lose out on the opening and the middle? Just I'm trying to relate it to life. Like when we are thinking about the end result or the end game, do you think sometimes we lose the fun element in the process or in the journey?
Well, it depends on, you know, on what's where your enjoyment is. If your enjoyment is in the process, well,
Hmm,
you're more like that artistic kind of personality where you just want to be in the thick of it, you know. You
hmm,
just want to be in the middle of the battle, and then when the battle ends, you're just sad because now the battle's over, right?
hmm, hmm.
But if you like, you know, to be results oriented, right, then all your enjoyment comes in retrospect at the end. So it really depends on how you're approaching it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's insightful, definitely. So with computers, like there's AI, now there is AI that is changing the technological world, the tech world. It has ruled over it and even our lives. There's so much that AI does and plays a role in our day-to-day lives that we are not even aware of. I mean, there is a good side and a bad side. And with computers learning how to play chess, as if today it's said that there are 1,000 trillion 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 possible games on one board of chess that is 64 squares and with the same rules. You can have so many different games, uh, the possibilities of the games. I would want to know that in our life, we are also given scenarios and with the power of choice to write our own future. Yeah. Like if the same scenario is given to you, like we are what? Nearly 7.8 billion people. Now, if you give the same situation to all of us, we are all going to do something different, right? We're all going to have those 7.8 billion choices and
Mm.
directions and actions. Now, I want to know that, do you believe in the power of destiny or in the power of choices? Or do you believe in the mix of both?
I would definitely say that I believe in a mix of both. Um, it, it's it sounds like contradictory, but it actually makes perfect sense when you say it we have the power to choose our own path, right? Because we perceive over time. So if I want to, leave the room, I'll get up and I'll go leave the room, right? That happened over time. There was a before, there was an after, right?
Hmm.
But then you could say, well, was it my destiny to make that choice to get up and leave the room?
Hmm.
So yeah, it is. I believe in destiny, right? And then obviously I believe in free choice because I'm a person making choices at will.
Hmm.
But I believe that everything is predestined, even your choices. You perceive it as a choice, but you were meant to make that choice all along.
Yeah. But then do you think that you tend to question, then why do I even make a choice when I know it is destined
Oh, you
in a
have to make
way?
a choice, because then if you're not making choices, you're dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
mean, it
just
doesn't matter. You can't choose. If you choose not to make a choice, then I guess you were destined to choose not to make a choice.
not to
Like,
make a choice. Yeah. Yeah. And that's also destiny then.
yeah,
So
I mean, there's no way around it, I guess.
so just as a last, maybe not a last question. Okay, let me rephrase it. So because we talked about not being alive or being dead, because you just narrated it, I would want to know what keeps you alive
What
in
keeps
this
me alive
moment. Yeah,
in
in
this
this
moment?
moment or in general, like today, what made you feel alive? What kept you alive?
Well, thinking about my daughter. My daughter is really my daughter and her sister. She has a sister. So really, that's where I get my strength. I believe I was destined to make all the choices I've made up until this point, so that I can be their father and in their lives, and they can be in my lives. Uh, so yeah, I mean that's what gives me strength.
Yeah, yeah. Family is indeed our biggest strength. And, they say for fathers, it's the daughters, and for daughters, it's the fathers, like there's such a strong bond.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. God bless you, and God bless you. God bless the two little princesses that you have in your life. And I hope they continue giving you a lot of strength and give you an ambition for life, because our loved ones give us a goal in life. They tend to push us to achieve a lot more. So I wish you all the best. As a sign off, is there anything that you would like to share just in general with me and with the audiences? Like maybe as a sign off, is there a message, or is there anything that you would like to share?
Well, chess is a game of balance, and really, I think the more we think about balance in our lives and in our futures, I think the wiser choices we're going to make, really, the better strategic decisions we'll make. Of course, we can't see everything, but to at least be thinking about it is, I think, in a step in the right direction.
Yeah, a step in the right direction. Balance is something that we're all seeking for and aiming for. So, yeah, yeah, let's take the step in the right direction then. Thank you so much, Paul. This was amazing. I am so grateful for you, for being on the show and for sharing your views on chess and how it has evolved in your life. Like, this has been great, and I have been meaning to do this with you for such a long time, and I'm so happy that we did this finally.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If it has inspired you even slightly, then please like, share, and comment. See you on the next one. Until then, remember, our time is limited. Let's make the most of it. Keep watching You Are Human on YouTube and listen to these amazing conversations on Spotify and other audio platforms.